Welcome into another edition of the Rocky Top Rundown, your one-stop shop for all things Tennessee athletics. I'm Scott Nappy.
And I'm Gabriella Gennaro.
The 10th-ranked Tennessee Vols football team traveled to Nashville to play their in-state rivals, the Vanderbilt Commodores, as they look to bounce back from the loss last week against South Carolina. Let's roll the highlights. We start off with Tennessee's very first offensive drive of the game, as here's a deep ball from Joe Milton to no other than Jalen Hyatt as he stumbles and is down on the 3-yard line. And he's been phenomenal all season long. The very next play is Jabari Small churning into the end zone to put the Vols up early in the game, 7-0. And look at the team pushing them up and getting them ready to celebrate. Late in the first quarter, here's Princeton Fant fighting and getting help from his teammates, putting them up 14-0. It wasn't the first effort, wasn't even the second, it was the third with Joe Milton pushing them in. And here we go. Vols stop the Commodores as they punt to D. Williams, and as the ball's coming down, he takes it and makes everyone miss as he takes it 73 yards to the house. 1 miss, 2 miss, no one else is going to get near him. Look at the blocking downfield, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Look at the celebration, grabbing his knee, doing the dance moves to make it 21-0 Volunteers. We move on to early in the third quarter. Here's Jabari Small as he cuts back and takes it 52 yards for the touchdown. This was his second straight game with over 100 rushing yards against Vandy, and the Vols are up 28-0. The very next offensive drive, Jalen Wright gets the handoff up the middle, and we've seen this before in this game alone. He goes 50 yards for the touchdown, and no one's going to get near him, and the Vols are now up 35-0 in a dominating away game. Late in the third quarter, here's Joe Milton to Walker Merrill for the touchdown as the Vols increase their lead to 42-0 as this shutout blowout continues, and they look unstoppable in this game. And finally, here's Dylan Sampson as he takes off down the field and won't be touched for 80 yards as he sprints into the end zone for the touchdown to put the Vols up 56-0. Tennessee bounces back in their final game of the regular season as they shut out Vanderbilt 56-0. As they have 4 touchdown plays over 50 yards in this game. With this win, the Vols have their first 10-win season since 2003, and in Josh Heupel's just his second year on Rocky Top.
The 22nd ranked Vols finished off their trip to the Bahamas as they took on the 3rd ranked Kansas Jayhawks in the battle for Atlanta's championship game. Let's roll the highlights. Here we start off with the first points of the game with Tyreek Key finding Julian Phillips, who bobbles the ball and then puts it in. Tennessee had a fantastic shooting performance, and mainly because of this guy right here as Santiago Vescovi drains one from deep. And next we have Kansas fighting back with a backdoor pass to Dejon Harris, who puts it in. Keeping with Kansas, Jalen Wilson finds Joseph Yesufu for a corner 3, bringing them within 4. And topping off a first half push, we have Tennessee turnover that leads to Grady Dick finding Yesufu on a fast break alley-oop. Despite Kansas' efforts, Tennessee controlled this game and finished off the first half with a 3 from Olivier Kamwa. Back with the second half action, it's KU's KJ Adams with the and-1 finish. On the other end of the court, we see Santiago Vescovi finding Uros Plavsic down low, who sneaks it in, cutting Vescovi for a clean finish. Then we have Zakai Ziegler finding Vescovi for a catch-and-shoot 3, who was on fire. Staying with the theme of the night, Ziegler steps up and drains yet another Volunteer 3-pointer. And Kansas looking to make a late push as Jalen Wilson works down low and hits a turnaround jumper. Despite the late push, Tennessee wins the battle for Atlanta's championship in dominating fashion against number 3 Kansas, and they move to 5-1 in the season. The Vols will be back in action in Knoxville on Wednesday at 7:15 against McNeese, and that game can be watched on SEC Network.
The number 23 ranked Lady Volunteers look to get back to 500 on Sunday as they hosted Eastern Kentucky at Thompson-Bowl Arena. Let's get into the highlights. The Lady Vols got started early as Jordan Horston opens the scoring with a 3. And then it's Horston finding Rakia Jackson inside for 2. Here's a kick out to Sarah Puckett in the corner, who drains a big 3 to put Tennessee up by 11. Speaking of 3s, here's one from Justine Passat, who knocks one down for the Lady Vols. 3s. Horston finds Jackson inside again, who takes it off one dribble and puts it in for 2 points. The inside game was working as Jackson finds Tamari Key with a nice dish and score. Key comes back with a swat on the defensive end. Jackson grabs it and finds Horston down court for an easy 2 as the connection between the two Tennessee stars continues to grow. Here's Jordan Walker finding Caroline Striplin inside for a nice finish and the bucket, and she was wide open, and Tennessee continues to dominate this game. Then it's Jackson with a spin move and a nice finish on the fast break. Look at that, and there we go. Now here's Hortson driving inside, using a spin move and getting a score of her own. There we go, up and it's in. Here's Brooklyn Miles with a steal and a lazy pass and a tough finish for the and one to go to the foul line. Lady Vols were in full control as they reached the century mark thanks to a Jillian Hollenshed bucket. Lady Vols would take this one 105-71 and improve to 4-4 in the season, where Kia Jackson and Jordan Hortson led the team with 15 and 14 points in the game. Tennessee's next game will be against undefeated number 11 Virginia Tech for the Jimmy V Women's Classic at Thompson Bowl Arena on Sunday, December 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, everyone, there is always plenty of sports and big matchups going on here on Rocky Top. If you can't keep up with it all, don't worry, you can join us again Wednesday for all the updates you need.
Until then, get out and support the Vols this week. For myself, Gabriella, and all of our crew here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.